Hey guys, it's Chris, and in today's video, I'm talking about Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 1 finale. Now, my latest poll did win mature and horror-related video, but I figured I would just talk about Episode 8 of Percy Jackson because I already talked about Episode 1 to Episode 7, so I might as well just talk about the season finale. And then next week will probably be something mature and like R-rated, horror themed. Let's get into it. In a flashback, Percy is sparring with Luke, and Percy learns the rules of warfare and the rules to take on an opponent. And I noticed a lot in season 1 of Percy Jackson, there is a lot of flashbacks and nightmare/dream sequences. So fast forward to the present day, Percy challenges Ares to single combat. And if Percy draws blood first, Percy wins the Master Bolt and the Helm of Darkness. Ares seems to have the upper advantage against Percy. Percy then summons a massive wave that crashes into Ares. Percy charges at Ares, blocks his sword, and then slices right at his ankle. Percy draws gold blood. Fun fact, Greek gods actually bleed gold blood. Ares in defeat vows to Percy he has an enemy for life. The kids take the Helm of Darkness to the cabin from episode 1, and Percy gives the Helm of Darkness to a restored Alecto. Percy tells her to tell Hades, hey, make sure he holds up part of the deal. I got his Helm of Darkness back. I want my mother now. Percy goes to Mount Olympus to return the Master Bolt to Zeus. And Zeus essentially tells him, you failed. You didn't bring me back my bolt in time. And he's like, you know what? You're lucky I'm letting you live because I have to continue my war. Percy's literally taunting him and just like, come on, dude, your family's a mess. Zeus is about to strike Percy with his Master Bolt when Poseidon steps in, grabs his arm. I surrender. And essentially, Zeus gets his victory in the war. Poseidon essentially just tells him, just leave my son alone. Oh, what, you're forbidden son? What do you mean? You have a daughter, Talia, that's also a forbidden child, but also is a signal or a sign of brave heroes that are half-bloods. And it's like Percy's no different. Percy also tells Zeus about Kronos. Poseidon and Zeus both agree to tell the council about Kronos' return. I do like how Percy and Poseidon have like a father-son moment. Do gods dream? And he's like, Ares is a moron. Of course we dream. And Percy asks him, do you ever dream about mom? And he doesn't say yes, but it's definitely implied by the sad look on his face. And he's literally looking like he's ready to cry. And it's like, of course, Percy, of course I dream about your mother. He doesn't say that, but it's definitely implied that he does dream about Percy's mom. That was just a very touching moment. I thought that was really sweet. Percy returns back to camp, and we finally learn the truth about who stole the Master Bolt. And just like the movie, it was Luke. Percy also learns that Luke gave him the cursed shoes because when they were in the underworld, the cursed shoes would pull him into the pit of Tartarus and deliver the bolt, or the Master Bolt, to Kronos. He didn't plan on Grover wearing the shoes. He even says, you know, stealing the bolt and stealing the helm, that was easy. But what's going to come next? We're going to need people. We're going to recruit people. And we'd love to recruit you, but Percy essentially refuses to say, no, I don't want to be part of your team. Kronos got to you in your dreams. You don't want a war between the gods. You think you do because that's what Kronos was telling you. And in this episode, we finally learn the truth. Yes, the reveal is exactly the same as the movie. Maybe not how it was executed, but it's essentially the same thing. Luke stole the Master Bolt. Percy and Luke fight, but Percy is saved by Annabeth. Annabeth essentially tells Luke, I heard everything. I know what your plan is. I know why you stole the Master Bolt. I know everything. She heard everything that was Percy and Luke were talking about. She heard it all. Luke uses the backbiter, which is a sword that can open secret doors, and he slashes, does it on a pillar, and then it creates a portal and he runs through it, and that's how Luke escapes. The kids vow to return to camp a year later, and there's a group hug, and everybody goes their separate ways. In a dream, Percy returns to the beach house from episode 1. Hades does hold up his part of the deal and returns Sally to Percy, his mother. Sally tells Percy, it's time to wake up. Because like I said, it's a dream, and you wouldn't really know that it's in a dream until the end of this sequence. But right when she said that, I was like, what do you mean it's time to wake up? Oh yeah, he's got to be dreaming again. He's got to be having some nightmare or dream sequence again. Like I said, this show has a lot of flashbacks and nightmare/dream sequences. And episode 8 is no different. Kronos shows up and tells Percy his survival is the key to my return. So that like gray hooded guy holding a lantern from episode 1, or the guy that essentially is talking to him in all these nightmare/dream sequences, that was Kronos. And Kronos essentially tells him, I organized and planned everything. So yeah, you may think you're pretty good at this, but that was because of me. I planned everything that was supposed to happen. And he was there from the beginning, right from episode 1. In my mind, I was like, wait a minute. Kronos was essentially behind everything. Everything that happened in season 1, Kronos planned it or organized it from the beginning. He knew Luke was going to steal the Master Bowl. He knew Ares was going to steal the Helm of Darkness. I mean, they were working for him, so I'm hoping he knew that they were going to steal it. Kronos is the Lord of the Titans and God of time, evil, and harvest. Percy wakes up. Percy Jackson in the Olympians season 1 is a faithful adaptation of the books of the same name. The visuals are fantastic. The Minotaur, the Oracle, Medusa, the giant wave, the Chimera, the Cerberus, the underworld. The characters are intriguing, and the 3 highlights is the 3 kids, you know? Grover, Annabeth, and Percy. The story does have some twists and turns that are unique and pretty fun. The story may seem and feel familiar, but there are enough changes to make this a worthy addition to the Percy Jackson mythos. Now, I was reading a lot online, and people said there was a lot of pacing issues, and I didn't really have any pacing issues with the first season. Yeah, the first 3 episodes were kind of boring because there was a lot of talking or exposition, but I think for each episode, the pacing is actually done really well. And like I said, this video is the end of season 1 of Percy Jackson in the Olympians. So my next video, 100%, is probably going to be mature and horror related. I just wanted to finish season 1 of Percy Jackson. I'm Spider-ManChris, and I'll see you in the next one.